everyone, and welcome back to Go High Level 360. In this episode of the Quick Wins playlist series, we are going to be going over how you can utilize Go High Level's pre-built website and funnel templates, as well as their forms and surveys to help with your lead capture needs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our high level account and look at how we can utilize the website and funnel templates, as well as how we can create our own forms and surveys. Okay, now once you're inside your high level account, the first thing that we need to go over is going to be the website and funnel builder. So if you go into the sites tab on your high level account, here you're going to notice there's a few different tabs at the top of your screen. You have funnels, website, blogs, WordPress, client portal, forms, surveys, chat widget, media, and URL redirects. So let's focus for now on funnels and websites. So when you're inside your funnel builder, if you go to the top right-hand corner and hit add new funnel, you're going to get two options. You can either create from blank or you can choose from templates. So if you select to choose from templates, you're going to be able to see all the different pre-built templates that High Level already has. Now, additionally, on the left-hand side, you can also browse based on the category. So if your niche is automotive, you can select automotive, and it's going to give you all the pre-built funnels specifically to automotive businesses. So once you find one that you like, you can go ahead and click the little eye icon. It's going to allow you to preview what the funnel is going to look like. And of course, you can look through it. Additionally, if you actually click the template itself, it's going to also show you the tags associated with the template, any prerequisites that are required for this template. So what this means is if there is a spot or an element on this funnel that's going to require a form or a calendar, it's going to tell you here. So as we can see for this template, we are going to need a form and we're also going to need a calendar. So this is not a big deal. It just means that those are two things that we'll have to create, so that way we can add them in later, and I will go ahead and show you how you can do that. Also going to give you a little bit more detail about this template and what's included and how it kind of lays out the product offerings. So you can go ahead and read through and see if that fits with your business and what you're looking for. Now, if you do want to go ahead and use this template, all you need to do is hit continue. It's going to take a little bit of time to add your template in. And then, of course, once your template is added, it's going to load you directly into the first page of your funnel template. Now, to make any adjustments, you can easily select the element you would like to adjust. So for instance, the logo here, this is an image element. Go ahead and click on it, go to the right-hand side and easily upload a new image from your media library. Additionally, you can also select the verbiage here. If you would like to remove it, change it, however you would like, you can do that as well. If you go up to the top left-hand side of your funnel builder, you're going to notice a few different elements. So the layers element is just going to basically show you the layers on your page from the header, which is a first column row, first column with an image. So it basically is taking you through if you have your section, how many columns you have within that sections, how many rows, and then what elements are within those rows. So you can get a better understanding of how your page is layered. Now, additionally, there's also the pages icon. So this is just going to show you all of your pages. So if you had a funnel with 7 pages, you could easily see all of those pages listed here. Your tracking code. So this is where you can actually put a header or footer tracking code. And then additionally, custom CSS. So for those of us who are coders or who know code, you can actually create code and paste it directly into the custom CSS to help change or add different color or layout to your website or funnel. You're also going to notice the typography. So this is where you can actually select whatever you want your headline font to be when you're selecting a headline element, as well as your content font. You can go ahead and change this here as well. You can also change the default text and link color here as well. Now, the next thing you're going to notice is going to be the background icon. So with the background icon, if there is an image or a color that you want to appear on the background of your site, you can go ahead and select that here. So as an example, you'll notice that if we put our background color to black, and we go ahead and let's add a new section. So if I hit the plus sign here and I add a section, the background color is automatically going to be black for that section. Now, the pop-up settings, so if you would like to add a pop-up to your website, you can go ahead and select the pop-up settings up here. This is going to basically allow you to use the same functionality as you are when you build your page for your funnel. You can select your column, and then you can go ahead and select your element. So if you want to select a form, go ahead and add that in, and then select the form you would like to add here. Now, additionally, you're also going to notice the SEO metadata. So this is very important for your SEO purposes of your website, and this is going to help you increase your ranking with Google. So this is where you can put your title, your description, keywords, the author, social media images, custom meta tags, chronicle links, and of course, you can also see your SEO preview here as well. Now you're also going to notice up here where it says upsell clone. If you click on this, this is simply your page that you are currently on. If you click on it, it's just going to go ahead and open the pages tab, and it's going to show you all of your pages. You'll also notice next to your page, you'll have the desktop mode or mobile mode. So what this is going to do is if you would like to see what your site or funnel is going to look like on mobile or desktop, you can toggle between the two. So that way, if you want to make edits and you want to know what they look like on mobile, you can easily select the mobile view, and it's going to allow you to see what your site looks like. And then when you're on mobile, if you select, for instance, your header, you go over to the right-hand side, you'll notice that your font size has the little mobile icon next to it. So if you adjust the size of this for mobile, it's only going to adjust for mobile. It's not going to ruin what it's going to look like on your desktop. Okay, now, of course, once you're done making any necessary edits, whether you're, changing the background image that's inside of your section or changing the headline or subheadline on your site, once you're done, make sure you hit save. And then if you already have a domain attached to this funnel, you can go ahead and hit publish, and it's going to make sure to update any of your changes to your website or funnel live. Now, additionally, if you don't have a domain connected and you hit publish, it's instantly going to ask you to add a domain or choose the domain you would like to add to your funnel or website. Okay, so let's go back and let's figure out how we can create a custom form to add to our funnel or website. Okay, so we are in the Sites tab again. Let's go to the Forms tab at the top and let's select Builder. Now from here, let's go ahead and go to the right-hand side where it says Add Form. Now you're going to have two options. You can either start from scratch or you can choose from a template. Okay, now this is going to be the same as with the funnel or website templates. If you click on a template, it's going to show you a preview of what it's going to look like. We can go ahead and make this bigger. Now you'll notice here, these are custom fields. So where it says first name, last name, gender, and email, these are all custom fields. If you don't have these custom fields pre-built into your account, just know that when you use a high-level template that has some of these custom fields, it's going to automatically add them to your account. You can also see a little bit more about this template. You can go through and select one you would like. For this example, I'm just going to simply start from scratch, and that way I can show you how you can create your very own form without using a high-level template. So we're going to go to Add Form, and we're going to start from scratch. Okay, now this is the form that we are given. There's automatically a few custom fields that are preloaded, and of course the coloring that is preloaded in here as well. So the first thing that I like to do is on the right-hand side, you'll notice the styles and options. So I like to click this. We're going to go to the options section, and we're going to give our form a name. Okay, now once you've named your form, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see a few other options here. So on submit, what this means is where do you want the lead to be taken to, or what do you want them to be shown once they've hit the submit button on this form? You have two options here. You can either have a message pop up within the iframe of wherever they've completed the form, or you can redirect them to a different URL. So if you have a thank you page or a success page already created on your website or funnel, you can easily copy that URL and paste it in here and just redirect your visitors who fill out this form to that URL. Now, additionally, if you are just using a custom message, you can easily edit this. So you can add emojis here if you would like. You can also bolden the letters. You can customize this message however you want. Now, additionally, you can also change the background color. So again, this is going to be for this message that pops up once they've submitted the form. You can change it to a red color, black color, white, whatever color you would like. You can also adjust the font color. So from black, you can do red, you can do anything you want to match your brand coloring. You can also adjust the font family as well as the size of the font and the weight of the font. So the heavier the weight, the darker it's going to look, the more bolden it's going to look. And then you can also add your Facebook pixel ID here as well. And then for that pixel ID, you can also select the Facebook pixel event. So you can scroll through here, select the one you would like. And then same thing for on survey submission. Go ahead and select what you want to happen. Now, the last thing on here is going to be your form settings. So for this, you have a few different things here. The sticky contact. So what this means is if somebody visits your site and they fill out this form once and they leave your site, the next time they come back to your site to fill out this form again, because they've already filled it out, it's going to auto input their information. So it'll auto input their first name, last name, email, and phone, and whatever custom fields you have on this form that they've completed. So if you would like, you can turn that feature on. If you are somebody who is using, maybe you have VAs that are using this form to fill out information on behalf of other businesses, you may not want to do sticky contact, because then every time they go to fill out this form, they're going to have to delete the previous information and then re-put new information in. Okay, additionally, if you would like your fonts to be GDPR compliant, you can go ahead and turn that toggle switch on. And then last but not least, enabling the time zone. So if you would like the form to capture the time zone of the person who is submitting the form, you can turn this feature on. If you do not care to know the time zone of whoever is filling out the form, you can go ahead and turn that feature off. Okay, next up we have the theme section. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save real quick. So it saves my option settings. Okay, now for themes, before we head into really styling our form, it's important to go through the different themes that GoHighLevel has to offer, because you may find one in here that you would like to use. So if you do see one that you would like, you can easily go ahead and hit use theme. And then it's instantly going to populate the new theme into your form. So now when we go to styles, we're going to notice all the preset styles are based on the current form and how it looks. Now, one way to just test this, as we can see here's the background image, is we can easily go back and choose a different theme. So let's choose this one. Okay, and now when we go to styles, here we notice that there's a few different color changes because the theme is different branding, different style. And now let's go ahead and make some adjustments. So the first style layout you're going to notice is the inline form. So what this means is if you have this feature off, your custom fields are going to take up the whole width of your form. If you have it on, it's going to split your form in half and it's going to do 2 custom fields. Next up, we have show label. So if you turn this feature off, it's going to not show the label of the custom field. Now, full screen mode. So if you would like the form to stretch to fit the screen or to fit whatever element that it is in on your website, you can go ahead and toggle this on. And then next up, we have input style. So right now it's box. So this is for the custom fields where somebody's going to input their first name or last name. If you have it to line, it's just going to show as a line here. So again, you could select which one you like the best. Now the first form style you're going to notice is going to be the background color of the form. So as an example here, we can easily change this color. You can also change the border color. So if you do have a border, you can go ahead and change the color here. So now you can adjust the thickness of your border. You can adjust your border type, whether it's dotted, dashed, solid, or no border at all. Your corner radius of the form you can adjust here as well. And you can also select the width of your form. So if you're using this form on a smaller section of your site, I recommend making the width as small as possible to fit with that section. If you're using it on a larger section, you can of course make this width bigger. And then the padding, okay, so the padding from the top and the bottom is set to 0 for this. If we adjust this, we'll notice that obviously it increases the padding from the top as well as increasing the padding from the bottom. Now the same thing for left and right. We go ahead and shorten this, it's going to shorten the length of our padding from our custom fields to the edges of our form. Next up, we have shadowing. So if you would like to create a shadow effect on your form, you can do that here as well. So as an example, let's go ahead and make this black. Let's select our vertical to 10 and let's select our blur to 25. Now we can see that I've created a little bit of a shadow on our form. Okay, so for field style, this is going to be dealing specifically with your custom fields. Now for this, you're going to have your background color, your font color, and your border color. Now your font color here is going to be the color when somebody inputs their name. This color is what's going to populate. And let's go ahead and change our color of our background. There we go. So if we change the color of our background, it's going to, of course, change the background of our custom field. And then let's go ahead and preview what our font color is going to look like. Okay, so as you can see, this is the font color. I chose red, so that is what's going to appear when somebody puts in their first name, last name, and any information in the custom fields. So let's change this back to a black color, and we'll change our background back to a clear color. Go ahead and adjust the border of our custom fields here as well. You can also select the width, so if you would like a thicker border or a thinner border, or even no border at all, you can go ahead and make that adjustment. And then again, under border type, you could do dotted, dashed, solid, or no border. And then here you can adjust the corner radius of your custom fields. And then you can also adjust the width of the custom fields as well. Now the padding is going to be the same. If we adjust our padding to 10, you'll notice that it's going to shorten the length of the padding from the top. Same thing for bottom, left, or right. Now additionally, you can also create a shadow for the custom fields. So let's do, for example, let's do a black shadow here, and then let's do the same thing. Let's do a 10 vertical and a 25 blur. And here we've successfully added a shadow to our custom fields. Next up, we have the label. So the label is going to be this where it says last name or first name. This is the label of your custom field. So you can go ahead and change this color here. You can go ahead and select what font family you would like, change the size or the weight. Now again, the weight is just going to, it's basically selecting how bold you want the text to appear. So for instance, if we did 800, as you can see, it looks really, really bold versus if we did 200, it looks a little bit skinnier. Now the short label. So as an example, if you click on one of your custom fields here, you'll notice the option, here's your label. This is where you can add a label to it. This is going to be your placeholder. So this is what shows up inside the custom field. And you can also add a short label. Now, additionally, while you're here editing your custom field, you can also select whether you want it to be a required custom field or if you want it to be a hidden custom field. If it is a hidden custom field, you're going to want to input the value down here at the bottom. And of course, once you select that it is a required custom field, it's going to add a little star icon to that label. Okay, so now let's go back to style. Under short label, now we can see how adjusting this color is going to change what our short label is going to look like, as well as adjusting the font style, size, and weight. And the placeholder is going to be what is inside your custom field here. As we can see, the color is a light gray, but we can easily change this coloring. And yeah, change the font family, the size, and the weight, same as the short label and the main label of your custom field settings. Okay, and last but not least, at the bottom here, you're going to have a few different options. So the custom CSS, if you would like to add a specific code that is going to change the appearance of your form, you can go ahead and paste that in here as well. And then the background image, you'll notice that right now we're using this husky image as our background. We can also delete this and it's going to remove it from our background. And then we can upload a custom background image from our computer library. And then you can also add a header image. And then last but not least, you have agency branding. So if you would like your agency to be branded on this form, you can go ahead and turn that on. If not, you can go ahead and keep it off. And then of course, make sure you hit save. Okay, so now let's take a look at how we can easily add custom fields. So this is the final step. Once we've decided on the color scheme and layout of how we want our form, we can now go ahead and add in our custom fields. Now, there are quick adds, so these are pre-added custom fields that are already inside your HighLevel account. Things like the first name, last name, date of birth, phone, email, you can kind of scroll through. Now, for businesses, some of you are going to need to add custom fields because there's going to be specific questions that you want answers to from your prospects. Now, in order to add a custom field, you can do it directly inside your form builder. So simply select custom fields, go to add a custom field, and here you're going to be able to select the type of custom field you want. And then it's going to take you to the next step, which is going to be labeling your custom field, selecting whether it needs to be attached to a contact or opportunity, and then selecting what group you would like to add this custom field to, as well as adding in a placeholder. Okay, now once you've created your custom field, you can easily drag and drop it to your form. And then of course, it's going to change the style to match your form. Now, it's important to note there were some new features that came out with HighLevel recently. So if you notice at the top left-hand side here, you not only have the option to add your form elements, but you now have the option to add conditional logic. So conditional logic can be used, for example, to redirect to a URL. So if the prospect's message contains, let's just say there's somebody looking to maybe they went to your page to contact you about applying for a job or career. You can select if the message contains job, then you can redirect them to your career page or your job application page. So that way, instead of them filling out a form for a quote or contact us, they're instantly going to go to fill out the correct form on your career page or job application page. Now, additionally, there's also custom logic to display a custom message. So again, the same example applies. If the message contains, let's say, job, we can then go ahead and create a custom message that's going to populate. Now we can also disqualify a lead. So if you're in a medical industry or maybe you're in solar and you have a disqualifying question of credit score, and if the credit score is less than 100, maybe that disqualifies them automatically, you can instantly display a custom message once they are disqualified, or you can go ahead and open a URL. Last but not least, we have show or hide fields. So for example, if the last name contains a B, let's just say we're going to hide the email field. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. Okay, so let's say, for example, I put B as my last name. It's going to immediately erase the email custom field. So obviously this is just an example. You can go ahead and customize it how you would like with using your custom fields. Now you can easily remove the conditional logic if you no longer wish to use it. And then last but not least, we have the show notification settings. So this is where you can set notifications for when somebody fills out this form. So if you don't have an automation created for when somebody completes the form, you can go ahead and just add email notifications directly inside the form builder. So it's going to ask you to put in what you want the subject line to be, who you want the email to go to, as well as what the sender name should be. And then if you would like it to auto respond to a prospect once they fill out this form, you can go ahead and toggle the autoresponder to turn on. And then again, you're going to put in the subject, you're going to put the reply to email in here and the sender name. Now, last but not least, once you are done creating your form and you've successfully saved it, you can actually integrate this form. So it's not going to matter whether you're using GoHighLevel, Squarespace, Wix, WordPress, or any other website platform. You can easily embed this form into your website page. Now, if you are using the GoHighLevel platform, you do have the option to add the form element, which allows you to easily select any form that's located inside your GoHighLevel account without using code. But if you are using a website on a different platform, no worries. All you need to do is go to integrate, and then here you can select what kind of integration you would like. So if you would like this form to be a pop-up or a polite slide in, sticky sidebar, or just a normal inline form, go ahead and choose. And then from there, you have a few options here. So the trigger type, you could show on scrolling, or you could show after a certain amount of seconds. So if you were doing, for instance, a pop-up, this would be perfect for if somebody has been on your site for, let's say, 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then the pop-up will appear. You can choose how often it activates. So if you want it to activate on first visit or second visit, you can do that as well. Now you also have deactivation options, so you can actually deactivate it after it shows a certain number of time. You can also deactivate once the lead is collected. So in other words, this pop-up would keep popping up until the lead actually fills it out. Now, additionally, with our inline form, our deactivation settings, we don't really need to worry about because this is just going to be a stagnant form that's going to appear on our website. So from here, we can go ahead and copy embedded code. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to give us the code that we are going to paste in our site. So as an example, what you need to do is you would need to go to the back end of your website or funnel. If it's not hosted in GoHighLevel, go to the page that you would like to host your form, go ahead and edit it. Once in the back end, wherever you would like to place this form, you're going to go ahead and select the element for custom code or HTML or CSS. So for example, with GoHighLevel, this is what theirs looks like. Now, this is just an example. You don't have to do this if you're using a GoHighLevel site. And then you're basically going to paste your code in and hit save, and then hit save again. Now, when we preview our page, here you go. Now you can see the form here. Now, if you're using GoHighLevel, instead of doing that, you're simply going to add an element, and the element is going to be the form element. So you just simply add the form element here, and then you can select your quote form, and it's going to appear. and you can actually see it while you're in the editor, and then you can hit save. Okay, so now that we've gone over the funnel builder and the form builder, let's take a look at surveys. So go ahead and go to the survey section under builder. Here it's going to be really similar to forms. So if you go ahead and add survey, you can start from scratch or you can choose from a template. And the templates for the surveys look very similar, if not exact, to the forms. So you can go ahead and preview them just the same. And for this example, let's go ahead and select a template for our survey. Hit continue, and then it's going to add in our survey template. Okay, now our survey has been created. Here we can see our first page, and these are the custom fields that are on the first page of our survey. Then when somebody hits next, it's going to take them to slide 2. Here's the additional questions we're going to ask. And then when they hit next, it's going to take them to the final slide, which is slide 3. Now, in order to make edits to this survey, we can easily go to the styles and options section. And here you're going to notice the same style options as the form builder, same exact logic. You can go to themes, you can go to options. So it's basically everything that we've gone over in the form builder is the same in terms of styling and themes with the surveys. Now, one thing that's going to be different is when you go to options, you'll notice that your survey settings are going to be a little bit different. So you're going to have the option to toggle it to one question at a time. So what this is going to do is it's inside the survey. It's only going to ask them one question at a time. Okay, so now I'm previewing it. You can see that it's only asking me one question. Hit next, and it's going to ask the next question. If I turn this off and I hit save, go ahead and preview. As we can see, the layout is going to be the same that I see in the survey builder, where this is going to ask me all the questions that are on the first slide of my survey. Now, additionally, sticky contact is the same as in the form builder. And then you also have the option to disable auto navigation. So auto navigation is going to automatically move the lead to the next slide once they've inputted all the questions that are on the first slide. So if you would not like that, you can go ahead and disable this. This is going to require somebody to input all their information and then manually hit next to move to the next slide. You can also enable the scroll to top feature, which is just simply going to scroll the survey to the top when they hit the next slide. And then again, the GDPR compliant fonts, you can turn this on to be GDPR compliant. Enabling the time zone is going to be the same as your form builder. Now, additionally, you can also edit the footer. So here, what's in blue here, if you would like to edit that, you can go to edit footer and you can paste in your custom style, your custom code, or CSS. Now, if we go over to the left-hand side here, you're going to notice your add survey elements as well as your show notification settings. So again, the notification settings is going to be the same as the form builder here. You can put in your subject line, the email you would like it to go to, as well as the sender name. And then with adding survey elements, this is going to be the same as the form builder, where you can drag and drop the quick adds, as well as creating new custom fields that you can easily drag and drop. Let's go to these 3 little dots for slide 1 and let's hit settings. It's going to open up an option where first off, we can relabel the slide name, and then it's then going to give us the option to select what we want it to jump to. So do we want it to jump to the next slide? Do we want it to jump to slide 2 out of 3? Or do we want it to jump to the 3rd slide? Now, one thing to note for surveys, if you are adding a custom field that is radio select or multiple select or drop down, you can actually have conditional logic. So basically, for instance, this is I believe it's a radio select for gender. So somebody can select male or female. So if we select this field and we go to the right-hand side, of course, here's where we can adjust the label, placeholder, short label, and query key for that custom field. We can also select whether it's required or if we want to keep it hidden. And then here you'll notice logic. So for instance, if they put male, we can jump them to a specific slide, or we can disqualify them immediately. We can also disqualify them after they submit their form. So we can wait until they've gone through the whole thing and then give them the disqualification message. And you can basically do the same thing, deciding if they put male, what you want to happen, or if they put female, what you want to happen. And then if we go to, let's say, how did you hear about us? This is the same thing. Because it is a drop down with multiple options, you can add logic to each option. So one way I like to use this is I have a company and they do multiple home services. So for instance, they want to know if somebody's looking for window repair, roofing repair, solar, maybe it's battery backup, maybe it is pressure washing services. Basically, they just want to know what the homeowner is looking for. If the homeowner is looking for solar specifically, what they will do is they will add a conditional logic to say, hey, if this person put in solar, then we want to take them to a slide that's going to ask them specific questions relating to solar. So what is their credit score? What condition is their roof in? Things like that. And then of course, once you're done, go ahead and hit save. And there you go. That is how you can create your own survey. Now, with the website builder is going to be the same as your funnel builder. You just simply go to add new website, select from template, and it's going to be the same logic as the form builder. You can scroll through the various pre-built templates. You can search based on category. And then once you find the one you want, simply select the template. It's going to show you what is included in the template as well as what prerequisites are required to utilize this template. And then once you hit continue, it's going to add the template in and then take you to your website settings. And here we go. Now we are in the settings of our site. Here are our various pages. We can easily go in and edit a page just like in the funnel builder. And then additionally, you'll notice at the top here, you're going to have pages, stats, sales, and settings. So your pages obviously is going to be all of your website pages. Your stats are going to be the stats of each page inside your website. Your sales are going to be if you do have a checkout or order form attached to your website, this is going to allow you to track any sales that happen on your site. And then last but not least, you have your settings. So this is where you can add the name of your site, the path of your site. You can select your domain. You can put in a favicon URL, which for those of you who don't know, a favicon is this little icon at the top left-hand side of your screen. So you can go ahead and paste in the URL for that image here. You can also add head tracking code or body tracking code for your website in here as well. And then there's a few settings here. So for payment mode, if you are simply testing your site before it goes live, you can actually select any transactions that happen in your website to be test. So it's not going to actually charge. You can also select to optimize JavaScript, so this can help for your page load, and then enable same origin iframe. So if you don't want other people to have the ability to open your website in an iframe, you can go ahead and enable this feature. And then image optimization. So with image optimization, this is supposed to help optimize your images on your page for better speed. So it's supposed to help your site load faster. Now, there are some bugs that I think GoHighLevel is still working on with this feature. Sometimes if you have this enabled, when you go to make edits in your site and then you preview them, they won't always appear. It's like a delayed editing response. So that's just something to note if you do want to use this feature. There are some glitches associated with it. And then last but not least, you have the option to enable GDPR compliant fonts. So instead of using Google fonts, you can just simply use the GDPR compliant fonts. And then once you're done, go ahead and hit save. And there you go. You can easily go into your website pages. So let's just click on the home page. It's going to populate our website page here. And then again, we can easily adjust our elements however we would like. We can add new images, change the messaging. And of course, the settings at the top here are going to be the same for your funnel builder. Okay, so one final thing, a little tip to note is if you would like to share your website or funnel with another GoHighLevel account, you can actually select the share icon when you're inside your website or funnel, and it's going to give you a link that you can copy and send to that person. And when they open that link in their browser, it may ask them to log into their GoHighLevel account if they're not already logged in. And then once they log in, it's going to allow them to add the funnel to the specific sub account that they would like to add it to. The final thing that I would like to go over with you guys in terms of why you might want to use this feature would be the ability to add automations to your forms or surveys. So this is a really great feature where you can immediately send a text message or an email out to your lead once they've submitted a form. And you can also not only notify a sales rep, but you can also add that information to like a Google Sheet if you want to use that. But yeah, you can basically create custom automations behind each form. So for instance, your trigger is going to be form submission. So you'd select form submitted. You go ahead and add the filter, select your form is, let's say, contact us, hit save trigger. And then you would add your first action. So for this action, you could assign the contact to a user, and then you could send an internal notification to that user, letting them know that, hey, somebody just filled out this form. And then you can select the notification type. So email, notification, or SMS. The notification, this is if you have the Lead Connector app on your phone. It's going to basically have a pop-up that'll appear that'll let you know that, hey, there's a new notification, and you can select the title you would like to appear as well as the message. You can also add a tag to a contact. So if you would like to track all of the contacts that are filling out a quote request form, you can tag those contacts as maybe quote requested. And then you can also send an SMS message to the prospect once they've filled out this form, as well as sending an email out to them immediately. Now, there's a few other options that you can do. So for instance, if this is a quote request form and for tracking purposes, you would like to add any person who fills out a quote request form to go to a Google Sheet, you can actually use GoHighLevel's Google Sheet feature, which is an LC Premium trigger in action. So if you don't have it enabled, this is what's going to come up, and you can click enable now, and it's going to simply ask you to confirm that you've read and understand the costs behind LC premium triggers and that you agree to that, and you can go ahead and hit enable. And then basically, if you don't have a Google Gmail account connected to the account already, it's going to ask you to do that. And then once you have connected that to your account, you can easily select whether you want to add to a spreadsheet row, delete from a spreadsheet row, or update a spreadsheet row. And then yeah, there's more actions that you can add to this automation depending on what you're looking for. And then once you have finished creating your automation behind your form or survey, you can go ahead and hit save. And then in order for this automation to become live, you're going to want to hit publish and then hit save again. So yeah, that is how you can use GoHighLevel to create a templated funnel, website, form, survey, and even add in automations behind your forms and surveys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was able to share some more insights with you on using GoHighLevel. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to my channel below. And if you have any comments, questions, or maybe you have a video idea for how-tos or tutorials with GoHighLevel, please feel free to comment down below. I really enjoy doing these videos for everyone, and I like to share kind of insights on high-level how-tos and tutorials with you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.